There we go. We're live, finally. Technical difficulties once again, but we're up. Hello, everyone. Happy Tuesday. How's everyone doing today? Give me a minute here. Let's get this going here. We'll give it a couple seconds for this to get going, and we'll get started here. Hope everyone had a fantastic weekend. We had some fight action on Saturday. Hope you guys caught that action. We'll give it a minute, and then we'll go ahead and get started here. It is fight week, so we'll get started with that, right? Just go a couple seconds here, and we'll go ahead and get started. Hope you guys caught that fight card this weekend. Good fight. Good fights. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Hello, everyone. Happy Tuesday. My name is Manny. This is Behind the Ropes, as you guys can see. Welcome, welcome. We had some good fight action Saturday. Top Rank had a card on ESPN. Hope you guys did catch it. Some good fights. Interesting knockout, right? Ricardo Torres. I got to keep an eye on that guy. That was brutal knockout. Good fights. Main event. It was good. Good fight. It was Comey and Pedraza. Fight ended in a draw. I actually agree with the decision. I kind of didn't really see a clear winner there. I don't know how you guys felt about that fight, but the action was pretty good. Kind of was what I expected there. Two fighters that had to continue fighting for their career, and they ended up in a draw. So I like the ending there. Makes sense. Yeah, it was a good draw. I agree. I don't have any rebuttal on that. I think it was kind of hard to get a clear win on that fight. So a draw makes sense. Other than that, I think that was the only fight card we had this weekend. It is fight week. We have Andy Ruiz and King Kong Ortiz going at it on Sunday. That's right, Sunday at Crypto, aka Staples, aka whatever you want to call it. It's a good card. We have 4 fights on the card. First fight is going to be Rayo Valenzuela and Corrales. Should be, I think, what we all expect, right? We all expect to Rayo go in there and do what he's been doing. He does have like over 60% knockout ratio so far. The kid's good. Comes from a good training camp. You know, he comes from the Benavides camp. A lot of praise for this kid. Great way to start a pay-per-view, right? Showcase your young talent. You know, get everybody to start talking about that fight. I know social media, there's been, talks here and there, maybe potential down the line of a Rayo versus one of these top fighters, right? Top of my head, I think the one they think it's going to be closest is maybe like a, I can't even think who would be next for him. It's kind of soon. Like, I know they want to see him in there with someone like a Ryan Garcia, not at the Teofimo, but I mean, I know they had that little sparring session that a lot of people know about, right? That Teofimo kind of got exposed, and according to some people's eyes. So there is a little back and forth there between Rayo and Teofimo, maybe down the line, but too soon. I think they're going to bring Rayo up slowly, as they should. He's a young talent. You should take care of him. There's no reason to rush him in there with one of these top fighters, right? Even against someone like Rolly, even though it'll be an entertaining fight, they're both young. I don't think it's a fight for Rayo yet. I think you should let him progress, and then maybe down the line, we'll see where we're at, right? Like, he's just getting started. Let him continue. It's exciting. Let's keep watching the growth. Second fight on the pay-per-view, Abner Mares is making his return after, what was it, 3 years? Yeah, I think it's been 3 years since he fought Leo in Staples, right? Interesting him coming back. He retired due to an eye injury. I'm not sure how many of you do see him like on the broadcast with the PBC broadcast. He's usually on the Showtime broadcast, right? He's usually wearing glasses, and and we all know why, right? He has that eye issue since the injury. So him returning after 3 years is interesting, especially here in California. California Commission is one of the most strictest commissions out there, right? So the fact that they cleared him on his eye thing is interesting. I'm not sure how many of you follow boxing thoroughly, or how long you followed it, but a couple years back, we were supposed to have Cotto and Margarito potentially happening here in California, right? Or Vegas. I know that was one of the two options, but Margarito couldn't clear medicals, right, because of the eye issue. That fight ended up happening in New York because of that. California wouldn't clear him because he had an eye issue. California is very strict, so the fact that they cleared him is interesting. Perhaps he isn't as injured as we all thought, right? Maybe he is okay to continue with his career. We'll find out Sunday. It's interesting. It's been 3 years, especially in that weight class. It's hard to come back after so long being inactive, right? And then to make the climb back, who knows? Maybe it's a one fight deal. I probably think it's going to be more of that. Maybe a one fight deal. He's coming back just to come back, and then depending what happens there, he probably might just call it a day, right? That's probably more of what I think I expect here. It's going to be tough for Mares to make a solid comeback with such an injury. I mean, an eye injury is hard to come back from in boxing. Most boxers end up retiring once they have something like that, detached retinas or what have you. It's just a difficult injury to come back from. So, as a boxing fan, I'm excited to see him in the ring. Little nervous, right? Like, I hope everything's well as far as that. But what does make me feel better is that it is in California. So if you're able to clear through the commission here in California, then you should be okay to go back in the ring and see what's what, right? So that fight is interesting, I think, because of that. The inactivity, how is the eye going to hold up? And what type of fighter are we going to see as far as Sunday, right? Like, who is Abner Mares now? So, interesting fight there. We'll see what happens there. Co-main event should be great. I like the co-main event. Pitbull Cruz is going to have his title eliminator. He's been given the WBC title eliminator. If he's able to win this fight, he should be in line to get a WBC shot. Now, will it be against Haney? Probably not. I know there's a lot of rumors going around that Haney might start relinquishing some of these belts. I think beginning with the WBC, I believe I read here and there that there's a chance he might have to let that go before going into the Kambosos fight. So he might not even be in the undisputed going into that fight, which makes sense, making someone like Pitbull the fight for the title eliminator, right? Because you take the belt from Haney, it's now up for grabs. You can now line up someone maybe like Pitbull. And we all heard kind of the rumors behind maybe who he might want to fight, right? He wants that Ryan fight. So to have a WBC title up there for grabs, and then, you're now the number one guy, it's probably going to be easier to get someone like Ryan Garcia to come to the table now that you're the WBC champ, right? So that might be interesting there. Let's see what happens. I expect Pitbull to look great Sunday. It's not going to be an opponent that I feel will put him in any danger, right? Especially the last couple of fights he's been in. Like, he's progressing the right way. Like, he took Tank to another level as far as like what we expected and what we got and what he's been given, right? So he's progressing correctly, and they're trying to line him up for the big fight. I think he will get it if he's able to get this belt. We'll see. It's going to depend what Haney wants to do. I don't know if WBC really wants to strip him or why would they would strip him. He's doing what he's supposed to do. He had a contract for his mandatory defense with Kambosos, because that's what he promised him. He's giving it to him. He's giving it to him right away. So the fact that WBC wants to go in there and take his belt, I don't see why. I'd be shocked if they really do it. Personally, I think it's probably going to be rumors. The only way I feel that Haney lets go of that belt is if he decides to move up after his next fight, right? So as far as the WBC belt, I think that's what's going to happen. I think Haney will keep it until he decides I don't want it. Especially if you're trying to line up a Loma fight. If you're the WBC, you kind of rather sanction a Loma versus Haney than anything else, right? Because just because you're giving Pitbull the shot doesn't guarantee you that Ryan will still take the fight. There's a chance Ryan will still not want the fight and go somewhere else because of the money, right? There's not a lot of money behind a Pitbull fight, and there's a lot of things that could go wrong in a fight with someone like Pitbull, right? So risk reward probably isn't there. So I don't see Ryan giving Pitbull the fight, but I'm still interested to see what happens as far as Pitbull and that man, the Eliminator, right? I hope he gets it, and I want to see what the WBC does with it. Okay, you made him the mandatory. How long are you gonna make him wait? Because you're lining up Loma next, right, for Haney. So WBC usually doesn't wait too long, right? Usually, because we have had people wait for a couple of years as far as the WBC being a mandatory, right? Just look at Dillian, right? Dillian White had to take him to court to get his title shot after a couple of years. So they can possibly take that route with Pitbull, but I don't know. It's interesting. I think they kind of jumped the gun making him the eliminator. That's the reason I kind of bring it up. I think there's a lot more there. It might get a little weird as far as what happens with Haney. They might strip him just for the sake of stripping him. Wouldn't be the first time, but we'll see. But I do like the Pitbull fight because of that. I want to see what he does as far as him now getting something of the sort of a title eliminator. So he's in the right way. So we'll see what happens with him. Great co-main event. Main event: Andy Ruiz and King Kong Ortiz. There's going to be something similar, right? They're trying to line up the winner for a big fight, and I believe it's also the WBC trying to eventually make one of these guys a mandatory. What what they expect to happen is the winner of Ruiz and King Kong to fight Wilder if he's able to win, right? I know Wilder, he had his press conference earlier today to announce his fight officially, which makes sense, right? It's fight week for the potential opponent that you're lining up next. So of course, you want to announce your fight probably the same week that your future opponent is going to be in, right? Just kind of get the people start thinking that way. Hey, like these two may fight down the line, which makes sense. Both PBC, both trying to get a shot at the title, right? So it makes a lot of sense what they're doing there. As far as the fight itself with King Kong, it's good. It's going to be a great fight. Styles make fights, and this is going to be an interesting take as far as styles. You have, someone like King Kong, which is I don't know. It's going to be interesting. It's someone that I feel Andy Ruiz hasn't fought. He's used to just fighting bigger guys than him, a little bit more stationary, right? He's usually a smaller guy. He's able to move a little bit quicker. He's able to box a little bit more. Where you're going in there with, a Cuban professional boxer like King Kong, which is also, like it's a great style as far as fights. I personally don't think the fight itself is getting um, as much maybe attention as it should. I know a lot of people are probably not upset, but like they kind of think King Kong's a little bit old. But you have to remember, this is the heavyweights, right? Like one punch changes everything, and someone like Ortiz hasn't really taken too much punishment, right? I mean, yeah, he was stopped by Wilder, but I mean, he's been fighting, right? So I don't think it's an issue as far as age. His last performance wasn't the greatest, but then again, I mean, when was the last time you seen King Kong in there with someone he's been wanting to fight, right? So maybe he's been unmotivated too. So this fight will answer that, at least for me. I want to see if King Kong still wants it. Um, I feel that this fight will kind of get him a little bit more motivated and get him to step up, so to speak, right? Because I mean, the last performance just wasn't the greatest, and I think that's why people are like, eh. But I don't expect that. I expect a ready Ortiz coming to try to get that title shot. This is going to be it. The winner here progresses to a big fight. The Wilder fight would be huge for either one of these guys. You get a Wilder fight, you're in line to get a shot at the title, if not maybe a shot at someone like AJ, right? Because like I said, the last episode on heavyweight, there's not really much there, right? So you can easily line yourself up for a title shot very quickly here. You go in there, you perform well against someone like you are going to fight on Sunday. You line yourself up to fight someone like Wilder. Here comes a title shot. So Sunday's going to be a great card. I know a lot of people are hyping it as much as maybe they should, but to me, I'm excited. I think it's a great card from top to bottom. It's a great way to start a pay-per-view. You show your young talent like Rayo, someone that's starting to get a little attention, in the boxing world. Start introducing them a little bit more to the casual fan. Then, Abner is coming back. That's interesting. 3 years off, eye injury. We'll see. We'll see what happens there. And you have your co-main event being a title eliminator. As a boxing fan, what more do you want? Usually you have maybe one good fight on a pay-per-view, and the rest are just fill-ins. I think where this one, all four fights have an interesting take, depending what happens. But as far as, you just see the titles themselves, to me, they're interesting. Like every single fight, you could pick like, oh, Rayo here, or Mares, like I said, 3 years off. So it's interesting. I like it. I'm excited. I'm expecting to be there live. I'm going to try to make it out there to crypto on Sunday. I will go live when I do get there. I'll get there a little early, go a little live with you guys. Maybe we'll talk a little boxing there, and then I'll go in and I'll shoot some videos and we'll go over it over the week, right? But it's going to be an exciting fight. If you're a local, it's a pay-per-view card that I don't think you want to miss live. It's a 3-day weekend. It's on a Sunday, which is great. Like, change it up a little bit. Why not? It's a 3-day weekend. I like it. I'm excited. Why wouldn't you want to go see it live, right? If you're a boxing fan, you want to see some action, go watch some fights on Sunday. You can't miss it. It's going to be a great card. If you're a boxing fan, why not? As far as that card, that's probably the most you can get, I think, in a pay-per-view. I don't see anything here really to be upset about. I've been reading here back and forth. I know fans are just not excited about it, but like I said, it's action. It's heavyweight action. There's questions there. Why not get the answers on Sunday, right? So tune in. You don't want to miss it. Other than that, yesterday, Canelo did have his open workout. It is getting closer to fight week. As we get closer to fight week, I'll start talking about that fight a little bit more. I haven't really touched up on it yet because we're getting close. Like I said, it's getting closer to fight week. We'll have plenty of time to talk Canelo and Triple G. Plenty of time. But for now, I just want to talk about the open workout. A couple things from there that I took from it. One, Canelo looks light. He looks fast, and he looks like he might be defensive, which is interesting. I didn't expect Canelo going into a third fight changing styles. I think the second fight, he had a lot of success pushing Triple G back, controlling the pace, going forward, not allowing Triple G to push the pace of the fight, right? He forced Triple G to do essentially what Canelo wanted Triple G to do, right? That's what I think Canelo should be doing in the third fight. I don't think Triple G had a lot of success going backwards, right? I think his success is more the jabs going forward, boxing, controlling the pace. I think that's more Triple G's fight. So seeing Canelo doing those defensive drills, him looking light, it's going to be interesting. He might change it up on us and be a little bit more similar to the first fight, which might give us a better fight, right? Because a lot of people felt Canelo lost the first fight, and I think it was because of that. Canelo was moving defensively. He was walking backwards. He was trying to counter. He wasn't trying to be the aggressor, right? It wasn't his division. It was just maybe his second fight at 160. With the first one being that catchweight fight with Chavez, which, I mean, who really counts that as an actual fight, right? I mean, that was just like That was a sparring session, right? So there wasn't a lot to go with as far as what you can take and when you cannot take as far as the 160 division. So the tactic was right as far as Canelo, right? Like you don't know if you're going to be able to take a Triple G punch. So going backwards made sense for the first fight. And then after the first fight, what he did, I mean, okay, you went through the fight, you felt his power, you felt his punches, nothing really there that hurt you. So, you saw him change it up. And then yesterday, seeing the little, it was, I mean, mind you, it's open workouts, they just give you what they want to give you, right? So it's hard to over analyze an open workout because it is an open workout, right? It's only what they want to give. But from what I saw, it might be interesting if that's really the approach they're going to take here. I think it's a good approach for maybe someone like Bibo, but for Triple G, it's gonna be interesting because the first fight went really well for Triple G with that kind of tactic. So if they go defensive on this one, we might be in for a real treat here. So interesting there. The other thing I took from the open workout, I know a lot of people are overhyped, or not overhyped, but like I guess upset with a comment that Canelo had made. Someone there had asked him about the potential fight of Bebo versus Ramirez, right? Depending what happens there, they asked him, if he would take a fight with someone like Zurdo. Uh, where Canelo answered, yeah, he doesn't want to fight Mexicans, right? That's essentially what he said. A lot of people took offense to that. I don't know why. I don't see how people take offense to something like that. Um, Canelo has been working. Let me start there, okay? Canelo has not stopped since the last Triple G fight, fighting champions after champion, going up weight classes. He hasn't stopped. The guy has been working, right? After the Triple G fight, the one thing he did say, it's the one thing he did say, I want to be undisputed at 168. Right? He said it. We all heard it. Everyone heard it. Right? Who was the WBC champion at 168? Benavides. David Benavides. So, the cash cow sets out the plan. I want to come to your division and I want to take all the belts. That didn't motivate you? Really? You lost your belt? You lost your belt. And now Canelo's the one that didn't want to fight you. Let's talk real here. You had to hold your belt. He's coming. He's coming to your division. He cannot be undisputed without the WBC belt. You can't. How? How can you be undisputed without the WBC belt? How? You can't. So all you had to do was hold the belt. And then you'll find out whether or not Canelo is talking real or not, right? Okay, I'm at 168. I'm the WBC champ. You know what I'm going to do to guarantee that bag? I'm going to hold the belt and I'm going to destroy everyone that comes to try to get that belt from me. Because I'm next. The bag is mine. I'm the champ. He's coming this way. No one's taking this from me. I don't want to hear anything. I'm locking myself in the gym. I'm going to be a gym rat. I'm going to get that bag. Right? At least that's what I'm claiming. I want the Canelo shot. I want these champs. They're all running from me. All of them are scared. All of them. You lost your belt twice. Let's call it what it is. Champ, you lost your belt twice. To yourself. They didn't take it from you. No one took it from you. Not the WBC, not the fight fans. You took it. I'm going to call it like I see it. This is called behind the ropes. I'll call anybody out. I'll call Canelo out too. Right? Like what he said, I get why people are upset. But let's also call it what it is. Right? Let me see the resumes and let's see what's going on, right? Because I know anytime I've gone for a job, first thing they've asked, where's the resume? Let's see if you're full of crap or not, right? What have you been up to? Are you a worker? Are you consistent? Right? What changes? Just because you want to kick and cry and scream, they don't want to give it to me. Who don't want to give it to you? You were the champ. You were the champ. And I call it out because I'm a boxing fan. I want to see Benavides and Canelo. I want to see it. But I'm also not a fan of people not working. Like you have to work. You want something, you gotta work for it. You just do. That's the way it is, right? Anywhere you go, anything you do, you have to work. You have to put in the work. You have to, whether you like it or not. I want a payday too. Who doesn't want a payday? Show me the bag. Yeah. Who doesn't? But that's not real life. That's not real life. You want something, you got to work for it. And if it's worth it, it's going to take a lot of work. Like maybe maintaining weight, maybe not partying as hard, and maybe keeping your WBC belt until the champ comes see you like this, the way he said he was going to see you. I mean, it wasn't that long after he claimed he wanted to come 168, and then you lost your belt. But Canelo's the one running? The guy hasn't stopped working. Belt after belt, champion after champion, risk after risk. Hell, he just lost his last fight because he went up to 175 to test himself. Because you guys are over here complaining on social media. Oh, he doesn't want to fight me. Oh, he's running. Really? Really? But none of you can cross the street, right? Nobody can cross the street. Oh, we're over here. We can't cross the street. Like, let's call it like it is. Like a lot of fighters give you excuses, including Canelo, right? Canelo gives excuses too. But at the same time, what is he doing? Right? He's fighting champions, right? Like, it's easy to sit here and get mad over what he said when you're not paying attention to what he's doing. What is he doing? He's fighting champs. Okay, you want to see him with the Mexican? You want to see him with the Mexican? Then some of these Mexican fighters need to hold belts. He's bringing the bag. You got to give him something. Give him a belt at least. He's bringing the bag. He's bringing the fans. What are you bringing to the table? Bring a belt. Hold the belt. I'm a champ. Do your part. That's how this works. That's how everything works. You got to do your part. You can't just sit there and complain. Oh, I want this. I want the money. You have to put in the work. So to me, when I heard Canelo say, oh, you know what, I don't want to fight Mexican champs, I took it for what it is. It's just a grain of salt. I'll take more offense to it if Zurdo wins, Canelo goes up to 175 and fights everyone else besides Ramirez. Then okay. Then you can get all mad if you want. But the champ is fighting champs, and he hasn't stopped. If you don't believe me, pull the resume. Pull the resume. Resume speak. All these guys you guys are claiming that Canelo is running from, show me the resume. Caleb Plant did his part. He got his shot. I don't care what side of the street you're in. Canelo's been crossing them. This side of the street, that side of the street. Caleb Plant got his shot. Why? Because he did his part. He held his belt. Let's call it like it is, guys. They start calling it like it is. Instead of sitting here and bashing people like people are used to, call it like it is. It's the truth. Whether you like it or not, call your own guys out. I'll call Canelo out too if he doesn't fight the people he's supposed to, right? But he's fighting champs. Champion after champion. Guy's been working. I can't complain about that. Guy's working. Some of these other guys, they fight once a year, and who they fighting? Get some belts, fight each other. Let's go for legacy. You guys want a Canelo shot? Show it. Show it. Show it. It's frustrating. As a boxing fan, it's frustrating because you see all this stuff, you see all the bashing, but nobody wants to call it like it is, right? Like with Floyd, right? Like when Floyd, we used to get a lot of backlash. The guy fought everyone. He fought everyone. He didn't weight drain anybody. He fought them at their weight class. He fought everyone, right? Strategic timing, maybe? Yeah, maybe. But he still fought everyone. Call it what it is. He still fought anyone. You gotta respect that. You gotta respect the resumes, right? Like not just what people are saying. You gotta like pull receipts. Show me the resume. What you been up to? Who you fighting? Are you doing the work? Are you doing everything in your part to get that bag, right? Let's call it like it is, guys. Like, let's give these guys the respect, right? Like, nobody's a bum. I don't call nobody a bum. That's not my style. It's never gonna be my style, right? But I am gonna call it like it is, right? Yes, Canelo saying that, I can see how it annoys people, but at the same time, pull the resume. Pull the resume. Who has he been fighting? None but champs. None but champs. All the champs around his weight class. Everyone. So that he's not fighting Mexicans, none of them have become champs yet. Let's see what Zurdo does. If Zurdo can pull it off against Bivol, take that belt, then we'll see, right? Let's see if Canelo goes up to 175 again. Because if he goes up to 175 and he doesn't fight Bivol, right? And let's say Bivol lost. Let's say Zurdo won, Bivol lost, and Canelo goes up to 175, doesn't fight Bivol, and decides not to fight Zurdo, then okay. Then okay. You can talk there, right? But the guy's been fighting. He's been fighting champ after champ after champ consistently. Not a lot of fighters are doing that right now, right? There's only a few fighters out there that are really doing the things that they're supposed to do. So to me, I want to see these other guys do their part so I can get the fights that I want as a fight fan, because I want to see Benavidez and Canelo, but I want to see it after I see Benavidez in there with someone like Plant or Charlo. Right? I want to see him test himself. Are you at that level? Are you capable of beating someone like Canelo? Right? I want to see that. Test yourself. Stay in that weight class consistently. Make the weight. Stop missing weight. Or move up to 175. Move up to 175 and fight Beterbiev. Right? WBC will have no problem making Benavidez the mandatory at 175. None. Let's call it like it is, guys. Some of these fighters need to start testing themselves. Enough's enough. Social media is cool and all. It's cool to sit here and claim this and that, but go in the ring, put in the work, right? Load up that resume. Fighting once a year, and then you fight who you fight. Like, come on, guys, let's go. Like, come on. Stop it. Step up, test yourself. It's competition. This is professional fighting. Compete. I don't know how else to say it. Can you guys please start competing in there? Test yourself. You win, you lose, who cares? None of you are Floyd. None of you are ever going to be Floyd. Like, let's stop with that undefeated crap. I don't want to see undefeated fighters. I want to see defeated fighters. I want to see 1, 2, 3, 5 losses. Just like all the legends that I know had. Why? Because they tested themselves. They tested themselves. All the legends. All of them. You don't let someone walk around in your own weight class claiming to be better than you. You just don't. You compete and you test yourself. Let's see who's better. Let's get back to that. Social media got a lot of people a little bit on the wrong way, right? Cry and not compete. That's not the way it works. It doesn't work that way. Put in the work. Let's put in the work. Yeah, I just had to get that out there. It's frustrating to see all the stuff that you see, right? You read all these things and you see some of these channels, and the only thing they pick up on is a comment. Not that the champ is back. Will he look good? Will Canelo be able to beat Triple G? He's coming off a loss, right? It's hard to compete with someone like Triple G coming off a devastating loss like he did with Bevo, right? And it's devastating because you weren't supposed to lose, right? Like it's a tough loss. So no comeback fight, no in between fight. You're going in there with someone like Triple G for the third time. The guy knows you. By now he knows you. So I love that. I love seeing that competition. Could he take a loss on versus Triple G? Yeah, Triple G can win. You have to remember the fight's at 168. Triple G has never fought at 168. Never. His first fight at 168. This is his third time against Canelo. After a certain amount of rounds, you're gonna know your opponent, right? So we can sit here and claim that Canelo's gonna win this and that. We don't know what's gonna happen. If someone can defeat Canelo, it can definitely be someone like Triple G. This is the third time you're in there in the ring with him. It can definitely happen. Me as a boxing fan, I love seeing that. Test yourself, compete. Can you lose? Yeah, but that's what makes it interesting, right? Like, who's gonna win, right? Like, I expect Canelo to win, but he can lose, right? Like, oh, that's the things that I want to see. I want to hear people talking about stuff like that, right? Not Canelo made a comment. You guys are caught up on comments. You're caught up on comments, not the resume. Not he's been working his ass off. He's been fighting champions. He became undisputed. He went up to 175 and tested himself. No, 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 no. I'm going to talk about a comment. Comment. That's where we're at. We can do better. We can do better. A comment. Words mean nothing. Words mean nothing. Pull the resume. What are you doing? That's what matters. You guys getting caught up on a comment? Really? That's not gonna work. I'm sorry, but it's not gonna work. You have to put in the work. Okay? You have to fight the fighters. You have to fight the guys you don't want to fight. You have to earn the shot. You have to earn the shot. It's the way it is. Some of us don't like to work. Some of us do. But that's how you progress. You go to work. So me, I'm sorry. I'm not going to get caught up on a comment. He could say whatever he wants. He could say he's retiring tomorrow. I don't care. All I do know is that he has a date in September against a fight against a guy he might lose to. That's all I do know. So he could say whatever he wants. He could say he's going to fight a clown in China. I don't care what he says. The resume shows you otherwise. So to get caught up on comments with a guy that works like that, like, come on, man. Like, knock it off. Knock it off. A comment. That was the highlight of the workout, a comment. Not the way he looked, not what he's working on, right? Not the mental aspect. How's he sounding after a tough loss? No, a comment. Well, the good thing is I started behind the ropes. And guess what we're going to be doing? We're going behind the ropes. Because this is boxing. No matter what side of the street, the sport will always stay. No matter what side of the street. So that's what I'm going to do with my channel. I'm going to talk boxing. I'm going to try to keep it to the facts. But I am a boxing fan. I will talk boxing because this is a boxing channel. But I expect you guys to do the same. Do you guys agree? Do you guys disagree? We do have a comment section. Let me know. You know, these are interesting topics. I want to hear what you guys think. But as far as the Canelo fight, we'll go more into detail as it gets closer. Like I said, I have a lot to speak about as far as that goes, but we're not there yet. As we get to fight week, we'll go deep. Canelo Triple G. But till then, remember, it's fight week this week. You don't want to miss Andrew Ruiz and King Kong. It's a fantastic card. And if you're local, make sure you catch it live because it's going to be fun while it lasts because it is heavyweights and someone's probably going to get knocked out. Isn't that what you want to see? Right? You want to see some action? So if you want to see some action, make sure you catch the fight Saturday night. Sunday. I keep saying Saturday. It's Sunday. Make sure you catch the fight Sunday pay-per-view. If not, catch it live. Okay, guys? Other than that, I think that's all the boxing that I have for you guys today. I will try to go live Friday. We'll speak on Friday. The fight itself, I will try to make it Sunday. If I do make it, we'll have some content for you guys. Okay. Other than that, thank you guys so much. Make sure you guys stay tuned. Hit the bell notification. Make sure you hit the like. Other than that, peace out.